Hey everyone, Matt here, Home Farm Ideas, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about a new series I'm going to be doing, a series of videos on aquaponics actually. And when I was growing up, I was super into fish tanks, and so I know a fair bit about them now, and raising fish. And then also, as you guys, a lot of you guys know that are subscribed to our channel, I do organic gardening, and so I figured I'd mix the two. Now, aquaponics itself, that word, it just means aquaculture and hydroponics. And so hydroponics is basically just growing plants with water, or nutrient-rich water. And then aquaculture is basically just raising fish to basically eat them. And so I'm going to be mixing the two, and I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. So today I'm only going to be talking about the containers. This is an IBC tote. It's 275 gallon, and I'll tell you why later, why we need a container that big. But I'm going to be using one here for the fish tank, and I'm also going to have another one for the sump. And then also, you're going to need barrels. For my system, I'm going to use barrels. And so basically, you can get those from just about anywhere, car washes, food places. The car washes, though, you want to make sure that the soaps that were put in them are totally biodegradable. Where I live in California, and I live right off the coast. They're super strict about it here, the laws, and so the containers that you would get here are safe from any harmful chemicals. And then I'm also going to get 2 buckets. I already have one, but I'm going to get 2 buckets for filtering system. And I'm going to talk about all those different things in videos coming up. But let's get more into detail on these barrels and totes and bucket, and we'll go from there. So besides the barrels and containers that you need for fish tanks and grow beds, you're also going to need some cash, obviously. Because the tote wasn't free, neither was the bucket, but you know, the barrel, I got it for not one, not two, but $3. So you can definitely get stuff for free. You just need to know how to do it. You're going to need to know how to search the internet for these containers and stuff, you know, and search your area, and check out Craigslist. Craigslist is a awesome source for getting things like this. And you don't always get the cheapest price, but that brings me to the next thing you're going to need is the ability to haggle. You know, if you know what you need from the beginning, you can tell them, look, I'll buy this many for this amount. And a lot of the times these guys will go for it because they can't store these things for too long. And then the size of the tanks matter, and I'm going to explain that in more detail later, but you need to make sure that your sump is matching the grow bed's water. So if you have a bunch of 55-gallon drums, you need to make sure that they can all drain into the sump without it overflowing. So we'll go into that in more detail. Then you're also going to need the 2 buckets, like I said, and that's going to be for building a radio flow filter and a biofilter. So we'll get in more into that as well. All right, now this container here, this is going to be my fish tank, and so it's an IBC tank. It's an IBC tote, and basically all that means is just it's a intermediate bulk container, from what I've read. And normally, they actually store food. That's what their normal use is. I know a lot of the times I'll see, like when they're doing water drops in other countries and stuff, they use these IBC totes. And basically, the forklift, the cage around them makes it to where they're stackable. And so forklift can get in there, and basically it can be, you know, stacked really easily. And if you do a quick search online, like Craigslist and stuff, I'm sure you can find them for pretty cheap. I know I probably spent more than most people did, but the guy delivered them right to my door. I spent $190 for 2 of them, and they were delivered to my house. I didn't have to drive in traffic and all kinds of stuff, and I was willing to pay that, to be honest. So I was fine with that. So then we have the you know, there's parts like there's things that you can look into on this. On the top of the tanks, you'll see a lot of the time this, or you'll see it to where it says HDPE, and they kind of mean the same thing, but you want to look for that because basically that just tells you that they had, it's basically safe to use for foods and stuff like that, and it had biodegradable items inside of it, basically. If you know any different, please let me know in the comment section below, obviously. Now for the barrels. I got my barrels from a car wash, but the soaps that were in the barrels were totally biodegradable, and in the state of California, and particularly in my city, you can't let this stuff go down the drains, because if you do, you get heavily fined. And so these car washes make sure that they're getting biodegradable soaps. These particular barrels, as far as I know, they are food grade as well, from everything that I've read. So they're food grade plastic. Again, if you know any different, please post below. I'm just learning through this process as well, so I'd love to hear from you. These are the 55-gallon drums, by the way. So, and the reason why that's important is because for my grow beds, when you cut the 55-gallon drums in half, you end up with 27.5 gallons or 27.5 gallons. Now, I plan on basically putting 4 to 8 grow beds together, and that means that my sump, which is another one of these totes here, is going to need to be at least 275 gallons. So if I do the 8 grow beds, that'll leave me with 55 gallons left over. And the reason why that's important is because if you have too many grow beds and they all drain all at once and they go into the sump tank, you're going to end up with an overflow. Your sump tank's going to end up overflowing, so you don't want that. So a good rule of thumb is to have the same size in gallons as you do in the grow beds. But for me, I like to have just a little bit more in the sump tank. That way there's no possible way it can overflow. And of course we have the buckets. The buckets are just going to be for removing fish solids, poop, and setting up the biofiltration, which you need to get that bacteria growing in there in the system, because that is one of the most important elements of aquaponics system, is growing the bacteria that's going to break down the fish waste and ammonias. And it'll break down the ammonias from nitrates to nitrites, and that can be taken up by the plants. So there you have it. These barrels and totes are just some of the things you're going to need, but again, I'm going to go into detail on everything you're going to need to build as best I can. The IBC tote, I'm going to convert that to a fish tank. The barrels are going to be turned into grow beds, and the buckets are going to be turned into filtration systems. So yeah, first video in a series of videos, and they're not all going to be awesome, but it's going to be a learning process, and I'm going to put all these into a playlist, so just follow along with me. Obviously, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And like always, peace. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button to get all our video updates. Oh yeah, we do have other channels now, so please check them out. Like always, God bless.